Okay, I'm using the whack phone to record the Android because my iPhone is dead entirely. I just come from the licensing disc place and they told me that the system of South Africa, like this country, they just told me that the system is slow or something. They don't recommend IQ. What do you mean you don't recommend IQ? She was like, you can go inside, check for yourself, but otherwise try and see if you can't come back another day. I told you, like employees of public services that are paid by the government, they have no incentive to like do better by the people on the ground, and I just experienced that. Now I'm going to the driver's license queue, and it doesn't make sense for me to go there because this is a much better angle, so let me just stand still. Now I'm going to the driver's license queue, which is behind me over there. You see that lady with the red top? The lady, yeah, no, she's been standing there since I came here the first time. It's a snake-like queue, and given that I'm not actually here to renew my driver's license but just to ask how much it costs, I'm not gonna chill there, but I am gonna ask somebody in the line if at all there is a way to find out online how much I owe. So by the time I come here, I'm just paying. Like, I mean, there's gotta be a system of that nature, right? I mean, earlier I spoke about automation and how it is that Filmora has automated taking out silent pauses in your videos. Well, I mean, the world is, I mean, if you can automate something so futile as that, then you ought to automate something like this, right? And if that doesn't exist, it says a lot about South Africa and its economy. Extracting people like me out of it made sure that they have such issues. Anyway, whatever. I don't want to keep recording because I feel like an influencer in the wild. I'll let you guys know how it went. Bye. Okay, so hi. My iPhone is charging now, thank God. So there's like better quality. Okay, so I've learned some things. I've been out of action for so long. I don't know why my mom did not know this. Literally, I don't know. Maybe it's because she's been doing things online. But I found out through a very kind police JMPD officer that had no idea that I was breaking the law just by walking around with not having a driver's license and everything. He told me that we have to book it online. Apparently, this has been something that has been rolled out in the country for 3 years now. We have to book it online to renew our driver's licenses and then come on the date that we have selected online and pay on that date to avoid the snake-like queues, whatever. I asked him how much, like if you want to find out then how much you owe. He was like, with driver's license it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long your driver's license has been expired for. You can, it's 220 rand irrespective. Guys, you know, that is such a massive blessing to me because my driver's license is by far the biggest pain point due to the fact that if I drive somebody else's car, I'm healthy, I'm legal, you know what I mean? Because their license disc is okay. It's my vehicle that's problematic on the road with an old license disc. But my driver's license, I can like hop into anybody's vehicle and drive legally in the country. So if I can get my driver's license, I'm home safe, and apparently it's only 220 bucks. So I'm gonna go home and check that out on the internet, and if it works out appropriately, I just need to book a date and ask my mom for the money, and she's gonna part with it and without much difficulty because it's a small amount of money. However, the driver's license, the license disc is the one that's very, very challenging because I suspect it's gonna cost an arm and a leg because it's been years since that expired, and it'll probably run well into the thousands of rands. But if we can get my driver's license and my car moving, then I'm good. She also inquired about my one biscuit tire, how much it would cost for me to buy a proper tire. So she appears to be wanting to do a whole like haul on me to enable my cause. So let's just celebrate and praise the Lord for that. Whatever gave her a change of mind, I have a very good idea as to what it might be. At this point, it's like, you know, forgive 70 times 7 times. Like, I'm glad that this is being done for me. So essentially, a lot of things are changing in my life for the better. And another thing that showed me that I am being rescued is on my way back here, there was a gentleman by his SUV that literally followed me all the way to the car, hollering at me. I told you guys just 2 days ago I was complaining, I was crying in the car that men don't look at me anymore, they don't pursue me, they think, I don't know, I just lost my clout and my street cred in that regard overnight a couple of years ago because of the spirit of rejection. You know how, what do you call this? Oh goodness, is the aircon on here? I think I can drive while we talk. Goodness, I'm gonna go to the mall now, since this trip was wasted, I'm not gonna waste it driving out of the house. I'm gonna go to the mall and buy. I said that I was gonna leave my hair in this situation. I don't know if I want to do that. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're an automatic car. You should not be moving in wrong directions. Anyway, I was on drive instead of reverse. That's why that was happening. Whoa, sorry. Yeah, no, I spoke a couple of days ago. You guys will recall. It is hot in here. The car is on and I don't understand why it's still hot. Because I switched on the aircon. I'm gonna be darker by like 3 whole shades. I don't wear burn whatever. What do they call that? Suntan lotion? SPF, blah blah. What do you guys call it? I know I need to do that, but I'm broke and I'm poor, and until such time that I can invest in such things, these things are causing unnecessary aging. Anyway, whatever. So I spoke about the spirit of rejection, and I was like literally lamenting. I was moaning. I was crying so hard. The name of that video on my channel is called I have extreme PTSD and I don't know when I'm gonna get fixed. Literally, I called it I have extreme PTSD and I don't know when I'm gonna get fixed. That was the name of the video, and in it I was speaking about how when the past 8 years that I've been in this trauma, in this bad situation, I am so hot. My face is like boiling and I need this aircon to work. Okay, I spoke about how that spirit of rejection that has been hovering over my general growth for 8 years straight caused me, from the age of just 29, like I could have been a baby out of my mama's womb, like that's how young I was. At just 29, I lost all attraction. Like men lost attraction for me. I stopped getting looked at. I told you that I have historically been, this is not to brag or boast, but I'm just sharing my story, my testimony, how life has been for me. I have been conventionally pretty, conventionally beautiful, in a way that got me hollered at least by my country standards. I'm South African. That's such that when I go out into places like this, like public taxis where I would come back, go to work, I always used to get hollered at by guys, like easily. It came to me easily. It's like I expected it. At any given moment, I would go to the mall and I would get looked at. I would go to restaurants and I would get somebody looking at me, and it wasn't just black men. It was mostly black men, but it was, oh goodness, where am I? It was mostly black men, but it wasn't just black men. And then in 2014, when I lost everything and everybody started to reject the living daylights out of me, I lost that overnight, and nothing had happened to me physically. I hadn't aged. I hadn't gotten new acne. My skin was still clear at that stage. I hadn't had anybody. I spoke about how it was similar to having acid poured on your face overnight, the way that people just stopped looking at me, men, and it was just traumatizing. Not because I was vain, but because I was made to get used to something, and then it was suddenly taken away spiritually. So it really killed my self-esteem. Yeah, I've had that issue for, guys, it's not right, ne? For women, Republic Road, yes. I love finding my way around without struggling first. Okay, yeah, because I'm really horrible with directions. Everybody knows that. Even after they invented GPS, I was like, whatever that is, I don't know it. Okay, I want the aircon to like just blast in my face. Yeah, like that. Anyway, it is not okay. It is not right for women to use their beauty to get ahead. It's called pretty privilege, right? It's not alright. Like, just don't do it, okay? It's not godly. It's just menacing, frankly. We should stop. It's not alright. The Lord does say beauty is fleeting, charm is deceptive. A woman who fears the Lord, that is the only one that is to be praised. But what is this? And my but is literally spoken because I'm a sinner. There is no justifying using your beauty to get ahead. But I found that I have gotten away in this like horribleness of state of my situation. I've gotten out even as a Christian, right? I was only persecuted for life. I've been persecuted for 8 years. I've been a Christian, however, for 11, and I don't know how many things I've gotten out of just because I smiled and some dude let me go. I don't know how many times I have, like, traffic fines, like not getting one at all, like driving past the red light or doing something funny because you're not concentrating, and then you get stopped and the dude is like, sorry, okay my sister, next time don't do it. That's kind of like, it's pretty privilege type establishment thing. right? And also, when you are trying to negotiate with people so that you get less harsh treatment, it helps when you're pretty. I've been so badly abused in these past 8 years that not even my pretty privilege has worked for me. I have tried, like, I have gone to police stations wearing lipstick because I'm not a fan of makeup generally, hoping that the police would take me seriously because my case was so taboo and it was so long winding and it required so much explanation. And I know that the South African police can be lazy, but you know, men, even though they can be lazy sometimes in certain respects, they will have energy all of a sudden if a beautiful woman asks them for a favor. You know, real estate agents that are beautiful sell more homes. Like, it's just the way that it is. It's unfortunate, we shouldn't be using it, but I tried to use it in this season of my persecution to get justice, not to have people do things for me that were not supposed to be done and I didn't deserve them, but just to get them to hear me. I try to use my pretty privilege to win my case at the CCMA. I try to use my pretty privilege to successfully open a case against some abuse that I endured at the hands of a police officer that broke my door down because of irresponsible family. I try to use my pretty privilege to get my appeal heard with the CCMA. I was innocent, but I wanted to use my pretty privilege to have people give me an extra ear. And where it is that I could, I tried. Where I was dealing with men, I tried. And guys, yes, to be ignored. I have had so much shocking, like, random different treatment of my person the past 8 years. Like, it's whack how badly I have been treated. The police didn't even care. Like, men, guys, that easily in the past would have, like, stumbled and fumbled around me, we're just like, sorry ma'am, this is a civil case. Sorry ma'am, what do you want us to do? Don't come back to me. Harassment. Like, police, not police, who's this? Like, security guards who I would have expected to protect me from a particular situation threw me under the bus. And I literally ended up feeling like I've lost it, like I'm ugly, like there's nothing to me anymore. I could not win. I could not catch a break. The guy at the CCMA was a man, a hot-blooded male, the kind that stumbles, that has historically been known to stumble around me. Yeah, treated me like I ain't Jack and caused me to lose my case. He didn't care. He stood with empty, like, you know when people tell themselves, I ain't yo. And what's sad is that I was innocent. I have used my pretty privilege to get out of traffic fines in the past, which I had to pay. I have used pretty privilege back in the day when I used to be not an alcoholic. I've never been an alcoholic, but there was a time when I used to drink. I stopped in jail just cold turkey because I was like, this thing is not for me. I used to get the worst babalazas, hangovers and the heaven, so I just stopped, right? There was a time when I was caught red-handed drinking and driving. Yes, I was DUIing. The vehicles reeked of alcohol. As soon as the window rolled down, the police were like, and they let me go. The guy let me go. He was like, don't you ever do this again. Do you know what they would have meant for my career, for my future? I would have had a criminal record. It would have destroyed me. And I was let go. And what did that for me, what made a police officer let me go without even a bribe, without even me paying him off, get that way, was the fact that the guy thought I was cute. I have gotten out of parking, you know, in airports. You cannot park your vehicle at the drop-off zone, tow-away zone, or what? Yeah, they call it a tow-away zone, right? Where you're supposed to drop a person off. You stay in the car, the person comes, they get in the car, and then you go. I once parked. Like, my sister travels a lot, and there was a time when I was picking her up at the airport, and I had no clue that I had to go and park at the parking lot area allotted for cars. And I just parked and I went inside. Thankfully, literally a whole 20 minutes progressed, and the car was still there. But by the time I came out, there was some dude not writing me up, but he was actively trying to actually tow the car. And I just was like, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I didn't even know there was a place to do that. I didn't know that we could park elsewhere. You know, I was inexperienced. I was a new driver. My sister has been traveling for a long amount of time. I was 22 or something. I I'm not one of those people that have traveled around the world, so I didn't know airport logistics. And I just parked there, and I negotiated my way out of that by just simply being like, I didn't know what happened. That police officer did not even expect me to pay them a bribe. They were just like, don't do it again. This is not a parking zone, it's a drop-off zone, and you're gonna get towed. And they let me go. That was a guilty thing. That was a sin I committed. That was, okay, no, actually I was quite negligent. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't know that was a thing. I wasn't being arrogant. However, I deserved a fine. I deserved the car to get towed. I deserved that, but I didn't get it. Things that I deserved to happen to me did not happen to me when I was lost. However, things that I didn't deserve that happened to me, my pretty privilege didn't help me get out of that. That'll show you some flames as well. When you are a Christian, persecuted, you will lose, you know, the way that the world operates around you. Normally, before you come to Christ, you will expect that to continue as normal. And you will realize that the world hates disciples, and it's a spiritual thing. Literally, men are blinded from your beauty. You suddenly don't have that pretty privilege anymore. You literally don't age at all from yesterday to today. Only difference is that you're born again, and you will get treated differently. Men won't care you're fly. Women will precisely abuse the living daylights out of you because you're fly. And everybody will literally think that you're arrogant to think that they will let you get away with this. Because or try it to get these freebies. You're used to it anyway. And it's like, but I'm innocent. This time around, I'm innocent. This time around, I wasn't drinking and driving. This time around, I wasn't parking at a drop-off zone. This time around, I was not feeling entitled to being disregarded, so to being ignored, walking right by the bouncer at the club because I'm cute. This time, I paid the fee, went inside the environment, and I got kicked out anyway despite having paid the cover charge. This time, I was completely sober, and yet because I had cough medicine on my tongue, the police took me in for questioning. This time around, I parked in the right place at the airport, but you still put that random nasty clamp on my wheel. This time around, oh my goodness, like guys, things that I got away with when I was a student at Wits. There was a time when they put that hard knock like yellow clamp the tire down thing, because I parked in some random strange odd place, and I went to the security guards and I was like, I'm sorry but I didn't know, and they were like, my sister, don't do it again, and they just removed it, unlocked it, and my car was set free. In this season of persecution, I got clamped at Wits when I was busy trying to negotiate for, what do you call this, my position to be restored to the university. I've been through so much. I got clamped like that, and I had to raise the money. No, I didn't have to raise the money, sorry. They charged it to my fees account. They charged like $350 or something to my fees account. I remembered a time when I got away with that, and this time around they made me pay for it with my school fees. All that happened after I came to Jesus. What caused that? Not after I came to Jesus, sorry, but after I entered into persecution. The season of rejection, the season of Job's trials and tests, when that hit, that's when it didn't matter anymore that my smile was bright and beautiful. It didn't matter that some dudes found me attractive. It also didn't matter that I was a woman, that I could speak my way out of certain knots and bunches and tight situations. It didn't matter, and it caused such an erosion of my self-esteem that I stopped expecting anybody at all to even help me. I expected men to treat me like I don't matter, like I'm invisible, like I'm cellophane, like I'm walk past her bull. I expected women to be harsh for no other reason than the fact that they can be harsh. I just literally expect abuse to come at me. I no longer walk out into the mall and anticipate anybody looking at me at all with any kind of favor. Men in particular, it's hard. It's been very rough. I started out trying to see if maybe I'm restored, I'm recovered, and so I would go out, like the very few times that I do go out to the mall, and I would look around, literally scan my eyes 180 degrees across the room, the periphery, the horizon. I would scan that environment, looking to see who's looking at me. You know, when you keep on getting looked at by men, you develop this attitude where you walk with your chin in the sky because you know they're looking at you. They are watching you come and they're watching you go. so you don't look at them back. Yeah, well, the past 8 years of my life, I've actually been scanning my environment to see who's staring, and it's been like a scant, like literally no one. Like it's bordering on being no one. It might as well be no one entirely, and it has crushed me so badly. You know, when the Lord says that those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. I was humbled that way. Like, yeah, I thought that I was pure pretty until the Lord allowed the world to treat me like I was ugly. And now all that dwells in me is an expectation of rejection. And I've been walking around with that spiritual defeat for I don't know how long. And today, at the licensing department, I got a small hint that potentially is coming back, to a point where after getting in the car I was like, I still got it. On my way to getting the license situation thingy, there was this colored dude. He looked like he could be like 27 at the oldest, okay, in some long queue that was snake-like, staring at me from the moment I was coming all the way up until I walked right past them. I looked back to look at that queue, because I thought it was maybe the queue I was supposed to be in, and he was still staring. And I was like, is that guy looking at me because I look lost, or is he looking at me the way that I historically have been getting looked at by men? Does he find me attractive? I'm 38, he looks about 27. What, is he into cougars, or do I look 27? And my answer in my heart was, hopefully I look 27. When I came back, there was some dude that was by his car. What is this? On his phone. When I was getting out, like he was on his phone when I was passing him. Now that I was going back, he was off his phone, and he's the guy that followed me all the way to the car, trying to talk to me. And he was a relatively decent guy. You know those men that they call high value men on the internet, looking like they got money? Christian women don't get pursued by men like those. We get pursued by godly men that we have established for a fact are godly. However, women in this world would have considered that guy worth their while to give a number or whatever. He followed me all the way to my car. And do you know what was the thought that came into my brain when he was following me, pursuing me, talking to me, trying to get my number? I remember thinking, what, are you HIV positive and you just want any random person with the goodie bags of a woman to entertain you? Are you trying to spread HIV? Like, I'm so insecure, and I've been so ignored by men for so long, that when a guy pursues me like that dude, I'm thinking he will sleep with anyone. He's the kind of guy that is spreading a disease. That's the only reason he's following me, because those are the only ones that don't care to be arrogant in my presence, since he's busy spreading a disease. That's all I could think. I wrote him off as a dude that's trying to spread ingulaza. Of course, I'm likely wrong, but that's how bad the situation has been. But the fact that I got that kind of attention today when I was out there says that whatever it is that has afflicted me all these years is probably starting to lift. There is something happening right now in this season in my life that is positive. There is some restoration going on, and I can pick it up, I can tell, because why would my mom, who has ignored my expired driver's license for years and my license disc and my vehicle service, why would she suddenly want to fund it all? Why would all of a sudden I get all of these subscribers in a short space of time on YouTube? Why would I be given all these ideas by God as to how to magnify the number of subscribers I gain still yet into the future on YouTube? And why, literally just 2 or 3 days after the last time I complained that no men are looking at me, 2 or 3 days, it's just been 2 or 3 days, and I've been undergoing quite a lot of praying and fasting, aided even by online church, like an online praying team, right? Yeah, now all of a sudden there is even a change, a change, almost like a restoration in the way that the world used to look at me. Like, men are looking at me again, and women, well, I mean, I don't know what's going on with women. I can't really speak much to women because there haven't been many of them. I haven't been, because that's the thing, women, pretty girls, you've got problems. You really love it when not just men stare at you, but women too, so as to gauge jealousy levels. But I haven't really encountered anything of that nature recently where I'm checking for women. Look, I don't go anywhere, so yeah, whatever. Guys, I know this all sounds sounds shallow for a Christian to be speaking like this, but I'm just trying to help you understand the spiritual landscape. I want you to understand how these things work spiritually, how it is that a woman's beauty can be taken away, not so much physically, like you still look like yourself, but spiritually, to a point where nobody will find you attractive anymore where once you were. Your intelligence, so many things of mine have been getting ignored, including my beauty, my brains, my what is this, interview skill. I've been getting ignored in ways that I historically don't have a problem with, causing me to second guess my intelligence because everybody's ignoring it, and causing me to also second guess my beauty because everybody's ignoring it. I feel like I've aged 1,000,000 years in just 5 months, but according to that dude, the black guy who was following me around all the way to the car at the licensing department, does not look any older than 30 years old. Yes, I know that we are living in an era where men are just hitting on women that are older than them like it's the cougar age. Maybe he's into older women, or maybe I don't look my age, I don't know. But that dude wanted me. He wanted me, and it was a pleasant surprise. I did not resent him for trying. I was blessed by the pursuit, frankly, because it told me that I still got it. I still got it, and I'm gonna be alright. Yesterday I was watching some funny show while changing my bed linen on my mom's TV in the house. She was watching it actually, and it just like so happened to land on me. I don't know what the name of it is. It's about real estate. It's one of those reality TV shows where real estate guru women are friends, and they're just not even that good friends. They're always fighting, blah blah, some reality TV show, whatever. And not Kevin Hart, but Taye Diggs was one of the clients of one of these ladies who wanted to buy a property. And guys, when I saw Taye Diggs, I was like, what? Like, he looked so good, and it made me feel so good inside, because upon going back to the room to check the age of Taye Diggs, I found out he was 51, is 51, and I was like, they look like that at 51. I was like, our men can look like that at 51. Men can look like that at 51. I've been thinking that I lost, young couples, they will really make you feel like love is alive. Hey, when you look at them, they look so good together because they're still so beautiful. The two of them, their wedding days are so enviable. They are just so glorious in the romance thing that they're doing. However, older couples, like really old, when they do romance, it's kind of awkward, it's weird, and sometimes it's low-key gross. You know what I mean? Like the spunk and the je ne sais quoi thing of it is extracted out of the equation precisely because of the fact that they are starting to, they're really old, and so because they're old, it's like it's not cute anymore, right? I've been scared that when I come together with my husband, we're not gonna have that glory of romance that comes with romance that happens when it's young, because I'll be all like saggy and he'll be all saggy, and even though we will both be really in love and we will have waited on God for our marriage, we're just not gonna be attractive, and kids are gonna be like, ew, when they look at us marry or kiss or hug or hold hands or be romantic, because like when old people get all intimate, it's kind of gross to look at. Let's just be honest, okay? Let's keep honesty aloft in this ministry. And I was worried that because I'm getting older, my wedding day is not going to be attractive and kids are going to find it kind of gross. And until I saw Taye Diggs. Until I saw Taye Diggs, and I was like, if my husband looks anything like Taye Diggs, anything like him, we are going to be a power couple. Like, he looks so good. He looks even better than he did when he was younger. Taye Diggs, right? I was like, if my man works out, no beer belly, no pot belly, like these arms that are just like, buff. I was like, this man looks so good at 51, better than he did. Go, my best friend's wedding, sorry, best man, blah blah. All these shows that he's acted in when he was still in his prime, much younger. He looks so much better than he did then, and his gray stubble on his chin as well. It just adds so much of a cherry on top of that random cake. And all I could say yesterday was Taye Diggs just gave me hope. Tay Diggs just made me realize that I am fretting for nothing. I have so much leg room. And Tay Diggs is 51. I'm only 38. I'm only 38. And yet I've been scared to have an ugly wedding day. This guy. I was like, I'm only 38 and yet I'm scared of looking like one of those aged brides and nobody's really feeling too blessed about my wedding day because really it came a little too late. And when I saw Tay Diggs, I was like, if that's the man that's going to be next to me, no, of course not Tay Diggs himself. He was to me like a blueprint, a bit of a prototype of what men at 51, if they've taken care of themselves, look like. I was like, if my husband looks anything like Tay Diggs, then I stand to have a really glorious looking wedding day. I stand to have a really glorious looking wedding day because I hope that I have not aged miserably in and of myself at 38, and I also hope that my husband, wherever he is right now, also has not aged miserably, so I still then can gain the glory of that beautiful young wedding day, that beautiful young wedding, that the youth, that young people are gonna aspire towards, look forward to, look up to, want to try and role model, because that's what I've always wanted to be, an inspiration to kids, to young people, to wait on the Lord. You know, I wanted my wedding day to be inspirational to kids so that they won't fornicate and so that they will see that it's worth their while to wait. And when I saw Tay Diggs, and I therefore was able to imagine a man who is older than me, because I definitely want a man who's older than me. I've spoken about that. He's 51. I mean, I'm not saying I want a 51-year-old man. I'm just saying that if they look like that at 51, then I've got a lot of leg room. Like a 40-year-old, a 41-year-old, a 45-year-old, a 47-year-old is still going, if they still look like that at their age, I'm about to get me a Gabrielle Union, like with Dwayne Wade type wedding day, looking really good, even though she's older. Dwayne Wade was still quite young though, because he's younger than her by like 10 years, but you get my point. That's what it is. Like the Tay Diggs view in that show on DSTV gave me hope that I can still have a glorious wedding day that the youth can look up to. All is not lost. I've been made to feel sad, uncomfortable, freaked out at the passage of time, and yet I am young enough to still be viable. Not only does Tay Diggs look really good, by the way, I'm using celebrities because those are the ones that you can go and Google. Genuine as well, you know. Yeah, Genuine. I was gonna sing one of these songs, but it's not right. Yeah, my whole life has changed since you came in. Okay, that's decent enough. I was gonna use Pony anyway, whatever. Genuine also looks really good, and he's like 52. He's 52, like, and he also has like that gray stubble. If my man looks anything like Genuine, if he looks anything like Tay Diggs, I don't care, even if he's 50. At this point, I literally don't care. And I also realized another thing. To Tay Diggs, who is 51 years old, I am a younger woman. I'm 38. So to a man the age of Tay Diggs, I am considered a younger woman, a much younger woman. So do you not see the dynamics of how the Lord likely has groomed for me a man who has seen things, likely been slightly irresponsible, if not very irresponsible in his younger years, gotten preserved because he got saved in Christ, and because he now knows what he wants, definitely for sure, he's not going to be giving me problems, and on top of that, he's going to look like Genuine or Tay Diggs. The Lord gave me what I wanted later because he knew how difficult it would be for me, or because he knew how difficult it is rather for men to wake up and smell the coffee when they're still young. The Lord gave me the husband I asked for because apparently, allegedly, he did not exist when he was 30 or when he was 25. All things work out together for the good of them who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. My ex-boyfriend wasted my time in proposing marriage to me, and I was 22 and I met him and he was 26. We lasted for 5 years. He wasted all of those 5 years thinking he could do better. He eventually found out that he didn't do better. He couldn't do better, that I was literally it. And now he is just this lost cause that has lost the love of his life, the one who got away. My ex is the kind of man who finds out later on in life that he wasted the right woman. Well, my husband is the theoretical version, or the, you know how there's an antithesis and then there's a thesis. My husband is the thesis of the antithesis that my ex and many of these men were. The kind of guy that likely messed up, realized that when you find something good, it like literally never gets better, endured a whole bunch of regret, but was given a second chance by God. And so now, I don't want a guy that's been married, guys. I don't want a guy that's got children. In and of myself, I've got a clean slate. So why be with a guy that doesn't have one? So basically, the man that I'm probably going to end up with is a dude that likely wasted the time of a lot of women. A lot of women. And that's why he doesn't have kids. That's why he's never been married. But somewhere along the way, he got saved and his eyes were opened and he realized what a fool he was. And then he meets me. He did it for me. Men mature so slowly in comparison to women. So as a godly woman, when you ask for a really, really like serious guy, sometimes God will make you wait until your late 30s or 40s before you can meet him. I believe this is a blessing from God. But hey, only time will tell. Let's go see. But clearly something is shifting, is changing, is getting better in my life. And I am glad for it. Let's go inside and buy that hair. Peace.